Hollindale, the Group 2 up at the sunny coast today. Won in 1991 by an absolute star in Rough Habit.
Stakes normally raced on the Gold Coast, and Just Folk was absolutely superb, winning the Hawkesbury Gold Cup last week in a driving finish with Wellwall and Detonator Jack storming at him. And for Gavin Bedgood, that was a Group 3 win. Can he steer Just Folk to a Group 2 win today with the Hollindale Stakes?
Let's get into the yard for the Hollindale, as you mentioned, over the 1800 metres. Huetor, your top pick, a last start winner in the JRA Plate, loves heavy ester conditions, a super winner first up.
And let's reconfirm the tick from the taxi trip with Tommy.
Yes, the best ride of the day for T. Berry in the taxi last night was Huetor.
Okay, and the wet track, I think, I know 1800 metres, probably south of his absolute best trip, but I think he gets a huge chance here. He's fit and ready. We saw Kovalika, hasn't won since winning the Queensland Derby at May last year, so an opportunity for him today. Really, wet track is still a query. It's not a query for Just Folk. He absolutely loves it. And Mighty Ulysses looked like that he appreciates a little sting out of the track. No surprise on what we have seen over in Europe, and I think Annabelle Neeshan's 3 runners are a live chance.
Yeah, quick yard here, isn't it, as we take a look at the field for the Hollindale and a market 2, please, Shani.
Thank you very much, Emma. Well, Kovalika is our best supported runner. All the money coming late for the Chris Waller trained galloper, and he will jump our clear-cut favourite. Just Folk has been continuing to firm. Of course, he's on the quick backup after winning the Hawkesbury Cup last week. He's now at $5, but Kovalika $4.40 into $3.20 has just firmed up again. That'll change on your screen in a moment. Huetor was a bit of a drifter at one point. He got out to $4.20, but he's back into $3.80. Mighty Ulysses is the next best there at double figure odds, currently sitting at that $12 quote, and HorseAllForm at $16. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on your screen or visit the website. And Tab's hot horse is number 4, Kovalika, $4.40, now $3.20.
Thank you, Shani. A Queensland Derby winner, of course, is Kovalika. Nash Rawiller has a great affinity with this galloper, and he's his only ride at the Sunshine Coast today after a number of scratchings due to the fact that we are racing on a heavy 10 today. So in the Goodwood, which is our Group 1 of the day, coming up at Morfettville, we get to see Oscar's Fortune just currently chilling out in the stalls.
Oh, I thought he ran really well in the Quokka. He was narrowly beaten on that occasion by Amelia's Julie. Meets her so much better off at the weights. William Pike is at that little drought over in South Australia. He's such a star jockey. He will find a way, and I think Oscar's Fortune has to be competitive in a race like this.
Your thoughts on Kovalika and the 1800?
It's a great question, because he's been trained at that 1600 to 2000, so maybe 1800 metres is absolutely perfect. I think the bigger query for him, though he's on top for both David Gately and Michael Maxworthy, who are gun judges, is the really wet track. That's the concern for mine. That's why I promoted a horse like Huetor on top, just because I think he will really, really appreciate it. If you're looking for a roughie, remember you and I did a show called Horses for Courses, and Adrian Bott told us to follow HorseAllForm, who ran really well first up, and then things didn't pan out for him. I think first up from a spell, rain affected track, I think he's over the odds. He's a quality horse.
They bought him for an absolute mozza overseas, and he's yet to win in Australia. So look, he's first up today, as you mentioned. He might be hitting the line stylishly.
Yes.
Going forward. I think I've got to be with Huetor after the discussion with T. Berry last night. Naval College. Now, am I mad here? Am I mad as something maybe for an each-way play? You know how you have Richo's Ruffies?
Yeah.
Maybe we could have Emma's each-way play. Just pitching that? Just pitching it as a little segment?
I love it. The Hollindale Stakes. Now.
Gates are back and they're off and racing now. And Just Folk was the first into stride from Osmos and Wapiti. Not far away, Jimi Hendrix, and on the rail, Naval College holding a forward spot early. Just off those is Mighty Ulysses, then Unspoken, New Marion back and wide at the moment. Kovalika settles down with 3 behind him. HorseAllForm, Ladondavi and Huetor is last. Into the back, 1,400 metres left to run. Wapiti joined by Osmos on the outside, who just shades it for the lead now. In third spot is Jimmy Hendricks. Fourth is Just Folk, securing a good run in the race. One out, one back. Naval College, 50 inside, covered up by Mighty Ulysses and New Marion. Then followed Unspoken, La Don de V, Kovalika third last, then Huyamel, and 2 lengths away on his lonesome last of all is Sweator. 1,100 metres left to run. It's Wapiti in front, 3/4 clear. Slip through to hold out Osmos for that leading spot. Sliding forward now, Mighty Ulysses into third now, then followed by Jimmy Hendricks and Just Folk fifth of the centre. Just off those is Naval College as they go off the back at the 800. Out deeper on the course is New Marion, La Don de V in between runners. Unspoken, Huyamel, Kovalika still second last, and Huetor still at the tail end, 8 off the leader. 550 metres left to run. Osmos really putting it to Wapiti. 3 out, Mighty Ulysses at the point of the bend. Just Folk travels strongly. New Marion hooking wider. Naval College back to the inside, then Jimmy Hendricks. Kovalika trying to pick up in between runners, and Huetor out wider. Osmos giving a sight here. Here's New Marion running on. Just Folk there in the centre, then followed Mighty Ulysses. New Marion struck the front here. 125 to go. New Marion dash clear from Just Folk. Kovalika getting out late, but it's all too late. New Marion, a first up crutch in the Hollindale. Annabelle's done it again. New Marion beats either Kovalika or Just Folk. Photo finish fourth. Mighty Ulysses just from Huetor. Osmos gave a sight. Further back in the field was Naval College. Towards the tail end, Wapiti, Jimmy Hendricks, who was one of the last ones to clock in with Huyamel.
How good's that for Jamie Mott, and how good's that for Annabelle Neesham? She's trained the last 3 Hollindale winners with Zaki and New Marion. This import he's been really good for her stable over a period of time. And first up, that's a great effort.
That is absolutely brilliant. We referenced the fact that he'd won a Gosford Gold Cup in the past. He handles rain-affected tracks. He went over to Perth. Talk about rain-affected tracks. He ran on the nice firm surface over at Ascot. He won a Group 2 there and ran 4th in a Perth Cup over 2,400 metres. First up, residual fitness. Jamie Mott says, "You beauty." What a win at a big price. 1, 5, 4 and 8 and Huetor. Tommy Berry got way back out of his ground, made ground down the outside. Probably needs it 2,000.
Yeah, I think so, and maybe just settling at the back of the field on this heavy ground. It's hard to make up that amount of ground. Kovalika hit the line.